If you're tired of your boring old iRacing screenshots looking like this, I'm gonna show you how to make them look like this. Starting off, you're gonna want the iRacing screenshot tool. This actually tripped me up, but you wanna go to releases and then download the screenshot tool setup exe. And then once you got that all set up, we're gonna head over to iRacing. Now that you are in iRacing, you're gonna wanna find your replay file for the screenshot of the car track combination. So for this instance, I'm gonna be using the F150. Okay, now that we are in iRacing, there is a couple things that we want to do. Since I'm running triples, sadly you have to do it in single screen mode. For graphics, you want to have them as high as your PC can handle. Major ones is the shader quality and your motion blur. Set that ultra. You're gonna have to restart your computer, but try to have everything as high as possible, as it's just a screenshot and not a full replay. But once you have all of that, you're gonna want to find your moment in the race or qualifying or whatever. So for me, it is this moment right here where both these trucks go over that and get a little bit of air, but I want to just take a picture of my truck. So we're gonna go into the camera mode and we're gonna want to have this static and fixed, and you can zoom your camera out to find out where you are, and then over in config you can change your speed and stuff. You can do this with a controller. It's a lot easier with a controller, but dang, where am I at? A thing that I also use a lot is once I have it to fix, I put at car, and this just helps me find the car a lot easier. Yeah, like why was I all the way over here, bro? For more realistic pictures, you want them outside of the things, but sometimes you don't care about realism. But for this case, you know, let's make it a little more cinematic. Then we put that field of view down, and you see that this car is in the way. So what we're gonna do is go to advanced and turn our clipping distance up so that it's just our car. Now you see that there's a void underneath, which is not ideal, but we're going to be zooming in to get rid of that. This is the fast forward, this is forward one frame. So what moment do we want? And when it's motion blurred like this, just go forward a frame and then back a frame. So this looks pretty good. Bring it forward a little more, bring the clipping distance, just kind of work with it. Oh my gosh, you can see our driver's face. But once you have it around where you want, you can change this aim type to static, and now you can adjust the pitch and stuff. You can have it off center or straight on. For this, we're gonna have a little off center. The aperture, the lower the aperture, the smaller the optimal focus point is, I believe. You want this pretty much as low as you can go because it just blurs the background. And then you want to crank this motion blur up. I like it about a 6. And then just like how the car got blurry a little bit, you can mess with the focus depth at first. And if it's still a little too blurry, change this to at car, which is annoying that you have to keep going back and forth, but then change it back to fix, and then you can position it. I like it around there. So now that we got our framing set up, you want to open up that iRacing tool, iRacing screenshot tool. But what I love about this tool, it has crop watermark, which is, I guess that was for the last version of iRacing since the watermark is so small. But you can change the resolution, so it will make your iRacing bigger. So I have it set at 4K. It'll make it bigger and then take a screenshot. So we have our screenshot set up right here. This is about how I want it. And then you just take screenshot, and it's gonna make iRacing bigger and take the screenshot. It just took the screenshot, and this is how our screenshot is looking, but we are not done yet. We still need to pop into Photoshop to make this even better. Now that we are in Photoshop, if you're doing it for YouTube, 1280 by 720, we have Blink Canvas here, and the default location is in your pictures and underneath your screenshots. We got this here. We're just gonna drag it in, and this is much higher quality already, but we are not done. So what I do is Control J. This makes a copy, and then so we always have the original there. And then we go into filter and then camera raw filter. And then you can kind of mess around with this. The things I mostly do is bring the blacks down so those tires get really black, and then bring whites up. So you can play with this depending on the style you want. I usually go for like a YouTube style, which is kind of saturated, but if you're going for a more cinematic style, you can go for that. So I just kind of play with all of these until I find what I like. I don't really know what half of these do. And then you apply a small little S curve to the curve. And then you can mess around really with all these, what you like, but then add a vignette. Oh, I forgot it's down. So now this is already looking a lot better. It might be a little over edited, but the dramatic look is already a little better. But if we really want to make that car pop, like in a YouTube video, I will go over to object selection tool, and then I will just select my object, Control C, Control V. Now we have it on a new layer. But what I do with this, I go back to that original layer. I go to adjustments, brightness and contrast, right click on that create clipping mask, and now we can just adjust the background layer. So for a YouTube video, I like to make the background layer a little darker. That's pretty good. So now you can see how that car just pops a little more. Now we can just select all these, hit Control T, and you can play with the size that you want this. So for example, you could have this and then your head over here, or your text over here, but now this is popping a lot more. And what you also can do is still select that background layer and do literally whatever you want to it. If you're too lazy to go back in, you can do whatever. Now that we have it like this, if you want text, you put your text, whatever, put that like that, and now you have it. But you also can just drag this and put it behind. So now that creates like a dramatic look. And then you can put whatever effects you want on the text. But this looks pretty cool. But if you are doing it for a YouTube video, this is the final thing I do. I select all those things, Control J. Now we have a copy of all those. I right click. I go to merge layers. So now all that is on a layer. It bounces a little bit. I don't know why. But then we go over to filter, and we go to sharpen and smart sharpen, and amount 35%, radius 0.4, reduce noise 10, and just copy these settings. Hit OK. That just makes it so YouTube's compression doesn't hurt it as much. And so when we export it, do not do quick export to PNG. You can, it doesn't really matter that much, but I do save for web, and then make sure it's 1280 by 720. Just copy these settings, save, and then you can save it in your PC. Save. And now we have our cinematic iRacing picture. Compare that to the already amazing picture that the thing took. Most important things are the shot selection you take. So like with this one, we have the curbing, adds a little action to the picture, or close to a wall like I had with this one. But you can see how much editing can do. This was the one I took in the screenshot with the screenshot tool, and then this is what I ended up having while editing. You just see how much that pops out so much more just with editing. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.